And why did I become a firefighter? I would have never chose this career for me. I mean, I really wanted to follow in my mom's footsteps, and she was a teacher because I just loved her so much, and I thought I wanted to be a physical therapist because I wanted to work with athletes and be out on the field, and because I love sports. But it turns out that I met a gentleman while I was pursuing some, I want to say, acting and modeling a little bit, because we all kind of go there to see if it's something we're interested in, and my mom kind of liked that I was going in that arena. And so anyway, Kendall and I were talking, and I couldn't understand, how you make a living doing it without having the one big gig. So Kendall had informed me that he was a firefighter. And I was like, oh, okay. So I never thought about being a firefighter before. So I asked a few questions, okay, what do you do? What does it entail? And he explained a little bit about what they do. And I think the thing that caught my attention most of all was he said that I only work 10 days a month. I stopped, in my tracks. I took a deep breath. I was like, could you tell me that again? You only work 10 days a month? And he says, yes, you only work 10 days a month, but they are 24-hour shifts. And he said it's a 56-hour work week, and he was explaining more, but all I heard was 10 days a month. And I said, well, how do I do that? And he said, well, first of all, you should go visit a fire station and get a little information from the stations and see if it's something you might be interested in. And you can either be a firefighter or you can be a paramedic, because at that time with LA City Fire Department, they were not dual function. So you were either a medic or you were a firefighter. With the LA County Fire Department, it's all the same. So anyway, that's how I started my interest in it, and I went to the stations. And the ironic thing is, when I went to the first station that I ran into, the captain invited me in, let me come in, and we were asking questions. And I had come from a photo shoot, so I kind of looked like I had a whole lot of makeup on, and I was petite then. I probably wore a size 2, and I had the heels on, and I think if you looked at me, you would say maybe that's a model. And so anyway, I have to preface that so you get where I'm going. And so when I get inside, and he's looking at me, and I'm asking the questions about, what does it take to be a firefighter, he starts telling me, but I noticed he kept looking at me, and finally he says, listen, Missy, I really think that the fire department is a good career, but it may not be the one for you, only because you don't appear to be the type that would like to get your fingernails broken. And so I would like to encourage you to probably pursue a career that you would probably really, be good at. And maybe he meant well, but that became a challenge for me, because I started thinking to myself, well, my mom says I can do anything I want, put my best foot forward, and just make sure you do all your homework, study up on it, and pursue it. So you can do anything you want to do. It just kept going through my head. And whatever else he said, I didn't hear it anymore. It was like, oh my, okay, well, thank you very much. So I left out, and I called my dad, because he was always my support hole, and my mom, and I go, hey, Dad, I just went to this interview with this guy, at a fire station, and he told me that this job wasn't for me, that I should look into other things. And my dad said, go to another station. So I ended up going to another station. So to make this long story short, it was the challenge of telling me that I can't do something without actually giving me a chance to try.